Where's the logic in the strategy to combat money laundering? When I listen to expert panels on money laundering, when I review government reports, when I attend expert anti-money laundering panels facilitated by NGOs and money laundering experts, I ask myself, where is your logic? When I see a hyper-focus on money laundering and nothing but dismissal of transnational organized crime threats, I ask that question again. After spending the last several decades reviewing, analyzing, and combating criminal networks and being intimately involved in cartel operations in Canada, including the infamous Chapo Guzman network, as well as fending off Chinese and Middle Eastern networks, the same question always comes to mind. Where is the logic in the response to money laundering threats, both in the public and the private sectors? Allow me to introduce a few key considerations. First, the issues of money laundering cannot be separated from the activities and the context of transnational organized crime. It's like water is to wet. In essence, they are the same thing. Second, it's a wicked problem. Not just a problem, it's a wicked problem. It's complex and it has multidimensional factors. It's layered politically, economically, socially, legally, and historically. Then there is the security complexity. Money laundering is fluid, it's dynamic, and it's unpredictable. Third, wicked problems need wicked solutions. And while it may sound simple, the known approach is the logic model. A model with 5 key components. 1, establish your strategic objective, which should be effectively to stop money laundering, set a goal of mitigation through controls in public and private sectors. The goal, separate money laundering from all its interconnected activities that generate the funds and are part of the criminal ecosystem. If substantive criminal acts like drug trafficking and fraud continue, where is the logic in believing the need to launder the money will dissipate? Money laundering is like water. It flows over concrete and other surfaces, always finds the cracks in the system to escape and hide. So again, where is the logic of defining the strategic objective solely as money laundering without looking at the broader issues of transnational organized crime? Where is the national strategy on transnational organized crime in Canada? The US, UK, Australia all have strategies. Why doesn't Canada? Where are the structures in our plan to combat it? A key element in the strategy has to be the structure, and Canada lacks these structures. We lack a substantive federal and international policing model. We need and require multiple agencies that integrate their efforts and focus on strategic objectives. Our efforts are akin to a butterfly in a windstorm. It's chaos. The police head north, FinTrack south, private industry west, and D&D, CBSA, and CSIS east. We have to ask ourselves, do anti-money laundering processes have a major impact on mitigating the activities of money laundering, or do these efforts merely defer it to another segment of society? Do police investigations and operations have a substantive impact? The real threat is transnational organized crime. Combating it is an international sport. If all international partners are playing rugby, then the legal disclosure requirements and the related Canadian legal requirements reduce Canada to showing up for the rugby match with a badminton racket and one hand tied behind our back. Why are we not looking at our legal system to assess outdated and ineffective approaches and systems that are not mitigating the threats posed by transnational organized crime, and by extension, money laundering? If our processes are inadequate, where is the logic in accepting that our current approaches will be effective? The outcome based on the current approach is predictable. There will be a minimal change. In other words, what we're doing is window dressing. A few logical requirements for Canada to consider include, but are not limited to: construct a Canadian national strategy on transnational organized crime. Build a federal law enforcement agency focused on national and international threats. Hold anti-money laundering professionals accountable for its own profession. AML and corporate executives must go beyond compliance and checkbox mitigation strategies to collaborate with the public sector at the political level to support legal reform and organizational structural change. Anti-money laundering professionals and experts must respect the difference between AML and money laundering expertise and facilitate a safe space for educating others and sharing sensitive information. While anti-money laundering professionals engage regularly with government entities, such as through ACAMs, it would also be logical for AML professionals to focus on government engagement for these needs and to consider helping government build a logical model to combat money laundering and its godfather, transnational organized crime. I'm Kelvin Chrustie.
Commentary That Matters is a partner program of Conversations That Matter. The production of this show is made possible thanks to your generous support. Please become a Patreon at patreon.com/commentary that matters and become a subscriber so that you don't miss a single episode of Commentary That Matters.